sleepless nights trying to learn how to die in my sleep. Cause I don't wanna be the one to wake up without a heartbeat. Trust me, you're gonna love this, stay in your seat. Baby, just tell me you don't love me, and I'll admit defeat. It ain't that deep, 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 deep. You know I kill for some of your real feelings. Oh no, it ain't that sweet, 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 no. Just as long as you're the one who kills me. Cause I don't wanna wake up dead, wake up dead, wake up dead. Cause I don't wanna wake up dead, wake up dead, no. Cause I don't wanna wake up dead. I don't wanna turn to missing. I can get you out of my head. Maybe I just needed you to listen. Cause I don't wanna wake up dead. If I ain't got you, then I'm already gone. Baby, don't leave me alone. Cause I don't wanna wake up dead. I'ma take 23 shots of Patron.
Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences.
The most common angles that the operator plays. This is like second to only B long. Fight is likely having a leg shot, but they're too slow. Hariri lands a perfect headshot.
Laying in the damage zone and them on out. Going into Edborn. Look at Sage. Laying in the middle.
Sage?
Laying in the damage. Going in. Revenge for their honey.
No way!
Sage Wabe! Get the quadra kill!
That was
So it kind of sounds fun, so I'll give it a chance. And then we ended up playing in high school the next 2 years together. We've been playing ever since. So he kind of taught me the game. We've been playing on a team since then, and then now we're in college, so we can't play together anymore.
We do love all the players, even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
Body Pluto looking for the plank. Trickster waiting, maybe looking for the steal. Pluto has his engage. The scatter of the weak comes through. Watch Levi though. Levi hasn't been touched just yet, but the damage is coming through. The melt line gets melted. Jinkwall on a killing spree, and all of Ottawa goes down.
Why, those don't go in. It goes off the sidebar.
Starting to come out. The flash is popped. The rolling thunder is utilized to perfection. And now it's all on Thiessen. But Thiessen just keeps on going.
Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our coverage of the MEC 2024 season. Thank you guys joining us for some Monday night MEC action. My name's Mac Dewey, and with me in the casting booth is my main man, Mac. How are you feeling tonight, my guy?
I'm doing pretty well. I mean, it's been a long Monday already. You just got off work, I just got off of work, but now we get to settle into some collegiate League of Legends in between the post work bit and the dinner bit. Unless you're doing dinner while we're doing this, which in that case, I hope you have a good dinner and keep watching while you're eating dinner.
It's been a crazy weekend, in fact. Now, not only a crazy Monday, but a crazy weekend here in the MECs. We take a quick look at our live update of the standings, Mac. I believe it's for the first time in 3 years of the MEC, someone outside of GVU, PNW, and Ottawa are in sole possession of first place. ONU, just Grandview and Ottawa. ONU 5-0 after taking a series win over both Grandview and Drury on Sunday. Crazy day in ONU, sit at the top of the MEC right now.
Yeah, a little double header action that night. We saw a lot of good matches this weekend, right? On the Saturday, we saw Ottawa against Briarcliff, I believe. No, Ottawa Cleveland State. That sounds more right in my head. And then we watched the Friday match as well. But they've been all good matches the entire weekend, so I hope that we can finish off tonight with the last of this set of matches with a really good match tonight.
Yeah, for our Monday night matchup, it is the Ottawa Braves taking on Cornell College. Cornell, we've seen a lot of good things that we like from them, but still haven't been able to find that first series win. And for the side of Ottawa, MEC, it's a team that went on to the national top 32 tournament and actually got a round one win. As we get into our rosters for Ottawa, it's Killian Martin in the top lane, Braden Prod Rovito in the jungle, Jeremy Blonde Bordeaux heads up the mid lane, and this dynamic duo in the bot lane, Levi Thomas and Ryan Plux Thompson, are really a squad to look out for.
Yeah, and over on the Cornell side, Eliza Con Roberts, Brody Cuddy McCune in the jungle, Owen Falwin Ham in the mid lane, Indigo Ikutsu Meads in the bot, and the support Rachel Peaches Spanbauer. So, two good teams. I'm expecting a lot tonight. I'm expecting Cornell to maybe start here with their first win tonight.
Maybe. I know Falwin's been going ham in the mid lane. He's been really fun to watch, and overall, I'll be curious on what exactly kind of compositions they bring in tonight. New patch, some new champions. I'm not sure. I don't think I saw any Smolder, but I'll have to go and check the tapes. I'm hoping I know, MEC, we were talking about being excited for that on Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm getting word hyper telling me, and you played some Smolder.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we'll see any more of it, MEC.
Yeah, there were 2 Smolders last night, and then I believe that we saw a Smolder on Saturday as well when Travesty and I were casting. So we're all over the place with the Smolder action here in the NBC. Second it got approved to be played, we're going with it now. So we're all excited to see Smolder going on. But there were some wacky drafts last night. Once we got once we got deeper, I pulled out my phone and I checked, and I saw the drafts that we get in our Discord, and I just see oh, this is a real wacky one, and it was all over the place last night. So I hope that we get some of that in here tonight, because I'm here for wacky drafts. That's the best part of the thing, right? Like, play comfort, play something interesting. Let's get going on that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Cornell, especially, one of those teams that pulls out a lot of champions you might not expect to play against. Eliza, I think notably, she's had a really good pool in the top lane that provides some intrigue for me. Seeing some Alawi, some Urgot. Wonder if we'll see Cornell, if they've worked out kind of the kinks around playing around the solo lane threats, because with Twisted Fate in other picks like Nocturne in the meta, I think it's been really hard for teams to sometimes find those solo lanes advantage when the compositions are so good at collapsing on those solo lane threats and getting numbers to the side lane very quickly. I think it's been a bit of a struggle for Cornell, but we've seen a lot to like from them, as I mentioned before. Solid team fighting, as well as in the early game going toe-to-toe. And against the likes of Ottawa, I think it will be interesting. For me, Ottawa, I'm looking at Levi and Plux in the bot lane, but they've got a lot of threats outside of there as well.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the big threats. So they played Drury on Saturday night, and Travesty and I were lucky to cast that game, and it was a quick 2-0. I have the average game time of like 20 minutes in there. But the big thing that was there was they were playing Riverside in the mid lane. It was his birthday on Saturday. They played him. He played a really good Syndra, and then right into an excellent Twisted Fate in the mid lane. This week, though, Riverside has class or something like that. That's what he told us on the interview. So Blonde is playing now in the mid lane, who's their other mid lane player. So we'll see how well Blonde is able to do, how he's able to pick up what Riverside was doing against Drury. And if he can kind of work the same way that Riverside was playing in Drury, I see no reason for Ottawa not to win this. Their mid jungle was really, really good. Prod was everywhere on the map. It was insane how everywhere Prod was on the map. And if Prod can just give like 80% of that to Blonde, he will do excellent in this, right? And that's our hope, that we can see that strong mid jungle duo kind of open the map up and see how they can get the side lanes going.
Yeah, I not to draw like direct comparisons, but it kind of reminds me of way back in the day when Faker and Easy Hoon were swapping a ton in the mid lane, right? I mean, you got 2 studs in the mid lane for Ottawa. Both of the guys have shown that they can compete with the top teams in the MEC. And Blonde specifically, I remember his LeBlanc game from earlier this year that was just absolutely bananas. So excited to see what him and Prod can do here. As we get into draft for game number 1, let's get into it, Mech.
Yeah, so the one thing you need to know about the Riverside versus Blonde thing is technically, and in practice, Riverside has been much more of a melee-focused champ, right? The Akali, huge special of Riverside. Blonde's been more of this like control mage player. Now, all of that got thrown in the trash because I did my research before the game on Saturday, expecting Riverside to come in and play like Akali Yone. He plays Syndra Twisted Fate. So maybe we see Blonde pull out the melees tonight, and I get proven completely wrong. But expect there to maybe be a ban or two towards the control mages of Blonde. And Prod seems to be willing to play anything. That's like the kind of point you want to focus on this team. Not that the rest of the team is bad by any stretch of the imagination, but if they get that mid-jungle working, they are going to be going.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, Cornell, they're on the red side. They could potentially save that critical red 5 counter pick to set up Failwind for success in the mid lane. I feel like for Cornell, it's going to be huge that Owen gets going and they put him on something that they can really synergize with. I think he's had good Orianna games, which is kind of classic league competitive. We're going to pick Orianna and try to roll some team fights. Will be interesting to see what they throw him on as we're getting into some interesting bans, Mac. Yeah. It's not every day we see Asol taken off the board, Belveth taken off the board, but these are the kind of champions. You got to study the report, you got to see whose mains are coming through and what pocket picks you got to worry about.
Yeah, so when we do our research, that way we come into this with some idea. We generally look at a lot of like OPGGs and UGGs of players. If you go look at Prods right now, it's like 30 games of Belveth in a row. And like he didn't play any of that on Friday on Saturday, but this guy loves Belveth. I would not give it to him. Yeah.
And that aforementioned Urgot from Eliza is going to be taken off of the board, as well as the Twisted Fate. Something really strong in the meta, and Mac gets a Smolder game number 1. Let's go.
All right, Mac, here's the pop quiz question. How many stacks does Smolder need to get for his execute?
225?
That's correct. Okay, excellent. That's the only thing you need to know.
All right. And how fast can you get to that 225 mark is also pretty critical. I think it's like 17 minutes
I think it's like 18.
The fastest.
I think like 18's doing pretty good. I think if you're in the 20 range, you're fine. Maokai is going to be picked up on the Cornell College side. That could be a triple flex. More likely, it's going to be a duo flex between the jungle and the support position. So Ole, the support for Immortals in the LCS, went on a podcast and was talking about Maokai specifically, and the conversation was like, "Why are you picking Maokai and support?" He went, "Well, I went and I looked at what is the highest win rate champion, and then I played that. Maokai's still the highest win rate champion, even after nerfs, so he can go wherever he wants. He's the best champion, one of the best champions in the game right now." That's a Lux locked in. So that would lean me more towards Maokai in the jungle position, Lux support. But this could be some weird stuff with Lux in the mid lane.
Yeah, it would be kind of interesting. We talked about Cornell being on the red side. Usually you want to save those red 5 counter picks for your solo lanes. They could be saving it for Eliza in the top lane, which is totally valid, trying to set her up for success. So we've got, and I think the MEC faithful will notice that a particular champion was not banned away from Killian.
Yeah.
And they didn't first pick it, which is crazy, because I guess they kind of thought Cornell wouldn't take it away from them. Killian's signature rumble twice this season. I gotta start a new tally for Shibby. Sure, Karma wasn't banned. That's 5 times for Mac on the cast, but now Killian's gotten rumbled twice. Mac, what is going on?
So Killian on Saturday played 2 games of Kennen in a row, and it looked devastatingly good, right? If this guy can play Rumble half as good as he plays Kennen, the game's over already, and we haven't even picked 7 champs, right? Like, it's brutal, man. His Kennen was everywhere where it needed to be, and he was in every team play. If you can use the Equalizer and half as good as he was able to use Slicing Maelstrom, this is going to be a hard game for Cornell College to go. That's a Caitlyn locked in for Cornell. That's a really popular lane, right? The Caitlyn and the Lux in the bot lane. You're going to do a lot of poke. You want to be able to get I believe it's the Lux Q, so the root or whatever it is. You put the Caitlyn trap down, then you can do your whole Caitlyn combo on it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I think there's a couple more bings and booms in there. I think it's like an 8-step combo or something, but yeah. That's the general idea. Over on the Ottawa side, though, that Vi locked in. It's just a good amount of CC. It's a good jungler on the patch. There's like, I wouldn't say there's anything that Vi like extremely excels at other than going in, but like every part of Vi's kit right now is good. So safe.
It will be interesting. Yeah, for sure. And especially you were talking about Prod being a big threat for setting up Riversided in the series earlier this weekend. And I think it's something fun. It kind of reminds me of J4 kind of style. You have a lot of mobility in the early game. Your early ganks are solid. Level 6, it just gets even better with some point-and-click action. And what I was talking about earlier might get hover. I gotta hold my breath. I know how it is. But it does get locked in. Eliza's going. Her signature Alawi pick in the top lane. And something for the side of Ottawa, I talked about it a little bit earlier on. Cornell College, they ban away the Twisted Fate to limit some of that side lane mobility, I'll say, into being able to collapse on her really quickly. So we'll see if with limited, I'll say, across map mobility, they didn't go Nocturne in the jungle. They went with the Vi. So Eliza may be in position to take over in the side lanes, but it's gonna be tough against Killian's Rumble. I'm really nervous for that matchup. But we see Orianna is locked in. MEC, your prep on the Ottawa mid laners does not fail you today.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a more signature blonde champ as Orianna Syndra.
No.
Really popular last season. Holds up, and Failwin is I think one of those mid laners in the MEC that might be able to match Blonde in the mid lane mage matchup.
I'm excited for this. Ahri is a good play into the Orianna. You can poke really far out with the ball. You can use your charm to pull Orianna where she doesn't particularly want to go. On the other side, Ottawa Braves have perhaps the best ball delivery system in Vi. Now, that sounds like a really dumb thing, right? But when you're playing Orianna, what you want is someone that is willing to go in, and you use the E on them. They not only give them the shield, but so that way you can get a really good shockwave, right? Because if you just push the ball and get the shockwave, it's a little harder, right? So you want good ball delivery system, and Vi is excellent at that. Over on the Cornell College side, I wanted to touch on the Alawi because Alawi is the highest highest win rate top laner right now on this patch, which is kind of a lie and kind of a scam. But like, basically, Alawi got
fake news.
Yeah, she got over buffed because she lost a bunch of walls that she could normally place the tentacles on, and because of that, she got over buffed. So people are now having to learn to play around that. I don't know how much Killian has played into new Alawi. Right? Like, Alawi is a scary pick on its own and is brutal if you get behind, right? Like, Alawi will sit in the middle of a team fight and heal everything, and that's it. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know how much Rumble Killian's played into new Alawi, though, because it could be bad.
And something for that matchup, I think there's a huge asterisk over talking about the top lane matchup because it's Killian on Rumble. I haven't seen it's always banned MEC. I actually haven't. It's just I've heard the tales, the myths, the legends, the fear surrounding it. I don't know how to handle it. So there's a big asterisk around this. So
okay, so he is unbeaten on the Rumble across all of MEC, including the match he played on Rumble support. So he's a little cracked at Rumble.
So we'll see if Eliza's up for the test of her spirit, I'll say, as we hop onto the Rift. Summoners, welcome to our Monday night MEC matchup between the Ottawa Braves taking on Cornell College. MEC, let's get into it.
Ooh. This is a fun draft. I'm happy we got this draft. I haven't seen an Ahri or Caitlyn or a Lux or an Alawi in like a year and a half in a draft. excellently drafted from Cornell College side, just solely on the I want to see something different.
Yeah, exactly. And Brody is facing off here against Braden on this top side of the jungle. They're going to go for a little bit of, I'll say, a rumble in the jungle with a rumble. And both teams just going to back off after trading some auto attacks. Nobody wants to commit to the battle as the teams are relatively spread out. Ottawa mostly going for some of that early game information.
Interesting to me. Now, this is a extremely ungame related statement. That Killian is not using the Super Galaxy Rumble skin. It seems to be the only skin everyone ever uses on Rumble because his standard animations are so clunky. It is brutal to play Rumble without the Super Galaxy Rumble skin.
I know, but he's an OG. He's
I know, but like, just watch a Rumble move.
I'll be curious.
It looks like the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie commercial that came out.
Where the internet goes, no. Yep. You're not butchering him like that.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. As we look into some of the bot lane action,
oh my.
I know Caitlyn Lux is notable for being just brutal to play against in terms of their long range. But Karma Smolder duo might be the new kids on the block that actually do what Caitlyn Lux want to do better as they get level 2 first.
Not just better, but when you play Smolder, you want to build him more like a caster. Travesty and I were talking about this on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be building like Essence Reaver on this first item and that kind of stuff. You should basically be itemizing more into an AP build. He's a caster. He's not this like
us.
Yeah, he's a caster. He's not a hyper carry in that way. So, like an auto attack champion like Jinx. So, because of that, the Doran's ring first buy means he has so much push in lane with the W. Now, that's getting nerfed come Wednesday this week. But before that, you can see how brutal that W, that like snot glob is.
Oh my gosh, the engage. Here comes Killian as he gets first blood in the top lane.
He's really taking his name to heart there. Kill Ian.
Oh my god, the Scorch. Oh, it doesn't finish off Indigo, but Plux is going in underneath the turret, taking down Peaches.
Yeah.
Rachel gets sent back to base, and
Itsugo's dead here.
Oh no, I don't, not long for
So
this world
dead.
as the punch goes wide. It's all a plan though, Mech, as Levi wanted that kill.
Yeah, I know Levi wanted that, but like on the other hand, like, if this is the kind of game we're getting tonight, I'm in for it, man.
Oh, Blonde is taking advantage of his experience in the mid lane matchup, but Brody's going to come in and have a bit of an answer. As we see Prod actually doing some business, and Eliza, is she going to be going down again, Mac? Oh my goodness. It's not even 4 minutes.
This is brutal. This is brutal. So, quick adaptation. Cornell College, I know we're under 4 minutes in this game. Doesn't matter if you win or lose this game. Suggestion, ban Rumble.
Maybe.
I think that may be the call. Unfortunately,
Rod is just a mad lad going in for this invade, Mac. I can't believe it.
This man has unbridled amounts of confidence.
He's still in the jungle. Look at his pathing right now on the mini-map. Keep a close watch on him. He's still going in. He's looking for the opportunity.
This
he
is
gets the
so
shield
much
here.
confidence.
Oh my gosh, Blonde's able to follow up here. Failwind's low underneath the turret, and Brody just has to back off. This isn't his jungle anymore.
You can't do anything about it anymore. Like it's brutal. Look at so we had talked about it. Not Karma Lux. Lux Caitlyn is this huge poke bot lane, right? It's famous for this. It's been done in years and years of League of Legends of World Championships of Lux Caitlyn bot lane of this huge poke lane. Ooh, we'll fight.
Engage in the mid lane. Brody looking for a kill on DeBlonde there, but Prod's still chilling around. He's keeping his mid laner safe. Doesn't matter who it is in there, Mac.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is, but Prod has been everywhere. Continuously everywhere. He's just literally everywhere on the map, man. He's invading the enemy top side. He comes right back down to the mid lane right when the other jungler shows up. He is everywhere to make sure Blonde stays alive right now.
Yep, absolutely. As the bot lanes continue to poke each other, Ottawa is going to go ahead and pull the trigger on the Void Grubs as Killian's got a lot of pressure in that top lane, opens things up for him. They're going to be able to secure the objective without much issue as Brody's going to try and make a play on this bot lane. Levi's level 5, 2 levels up, but Brody's landed the CC. Levi's just going in. He's taking care of business as Peaches goes down. Mech in the Ottawa bot lane continues to dominate. I don't think Prod has even gotten his topside jungle yet. He's just been going all over the place.
Yeah, Prod hasn't had time to do jungle. Ooh. Where are you at, Levi? There you go. All right. Welcome to Smolder, everybody. He can fly over walls.
That's pretty sick.
That was pretty sick. That was a little ASOL action, a little sick.
Oh my gosh, Prod.
Oh, Prod is here. I'm telling you, man, this is just Prod is in form today.
Picking up right where he left off during the weekend's action. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Mech, you mentioned it.
It doesn't matter that he's 0-1. Like, that's the thing. It doesn't matter the scoreline. The thing that matters is he has been literally everywhere on the map.
As we do a bit of a check-in here, Mech, 7 kills, 7 minutes. They're all going the way of Ottawa's. We get a breather. I really wanted to take a moment to reflect on the game a little bit, and the pause comes through really at the perfect time, as Ottawa's kind of winning through all 3 lanes at the moment. And you mentioned Prod being everywhere. It seems like he's everywhere except his own jungle, and has been continuously applying pressure on Brody here on the Maokai.
Well, he's been in the enemy jungle more than he's been in his jungle. So I think let's go on the lane by lane breakdown of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Let's start with the top lane, the Rumble into Alawi. We saw in the first 2 minutes, we saw Killian flash into Eliza and get the solo kill, level 2 or something like that, right? Alawi becomes really strong at level 6 when you get the ultimate and you can kind of like throw down. So you kind of want to bully Alawi the first 2 levels, but there's 2 kills on this Rumble already, and Rumble gets really strong when he gets the equalizer. So that's going to be tough to deal with in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the mid lane. Ari Orianna is very even. Like, I think Orianna is doing a little bit better in CS, if I remember correctly, but it's nothing insane. It's a 2 CS difference, I'm being told by the voices in my head. So, pretty even lane, but Maokai has showed up there already, and Vi just kind of walks in and prevents the Maokai from doing anything. The bot lane, on the other hand, is very different from the mid lane. Levi's got like 3 kills on this Smolder, 3 or 4 kills on the Smolder already.
Feeling
Karma's got a kill or 2. Vi's been down there like 7 times. Like, Kate Lux can't do anything about this. They're supposed to be the poke bot lane. They're supposed to be the ones that say, okay, we'll play safe, poke you out of the lane, and then we'll go and push while you're dead.
Yeah.
They're
not this time.
They can't do that because they're the ones dying right now, right? Like, this is generally not what a Kate Lux bot lane wants to do.
Yeah. Yep. And potentially picking it into the Smolder Karma, you're hoping, hey, maybe we can match. But the Smolder Karma picks are just performing crazy well. I mean, the push potential, as you mentioned, Mech, from Smolder's W, it's getting nerfed on Wednesday. Ottawa taking advantage of the pick. It's doing heavy work. Cornell, their answer, not stacking up quite well as we hop right back onto the Rift. Welcome back, everybody. Ottawa's got a 3,000 gold lead at the 7.5 minute mark. They're feeling pretty good, but Failwin, he's got a level on Blonde in the mid lane. The flash shockwave, Mage is going at it, and Blonde comes out on top.
Oh my. What a play by Blonde to just kind of run around that. Excellently executed.
As the flash shockwave, I think that caught Failwin off guard, wasn't ready. And I believe you can line those up as the ultimate from Levi does connect, but Peach is able to flash on out of there. And Killian, he's on a killing spree up in the top lane. More pressure on the bottom side of the map, though. Mech, here comes Prod.
Prod has been down here 5 times. This is when you start, when you're Kate Lux and you start messaging in chat like, "Hey, you want a tent or something?" Right? Like this is when you start with the camping allegations.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Brutal.
Rumble's up 3 kills now. This is. Oh no, Felwyn may kill him here, but he may also kill. He doesn't. I don't think he has enough health anymore.
Oh, he drops down the equalizer. He's going to try to run for the hills, but I think the minions are doing too much damage. I think Killian is going to go down here, but he's going to slow Failwind down. There's the flash from the Ahri. And still the auto attacks. The Q finally secures the shutdown there on the Ottawa top laner.
What's seriously up, Mac? Mean this. I think that was kind of worth it to just get the flash out. Like I think we
got more fighting in the jungle here. Brody takes down Plux as Prod continuing to look for more and more kills. Levi's still healthy. No ultimate here on the Smolder. Eliza's come down as well. Cornell have had enough of the shenanigans. They're grouping up as 5, and they're taking the fight to Ottawa as Eliza's going to take on Levi's Spirit a little bit, slowing down the Ottawa ADC. You got to be careful. They got the numbers. He's caught by the charm, but he's taken down in the bot lane. Cornell getting some huge shutdowns.
So this is what you do when you get that one pick in the top lane, right? Eliza gets the pick. Failwyn gets the pick onto the Rumble, which means that the Rumble can't try and do any cross-map plays. So the second that Eliza comes up, they walk right into the bot lane, knowing that Rumble cannot cross-map, and you have a numbers advantage. And that's what you have to do if you're Cornell right now, when you know that you're currently losing the game, right? That's what you have to do, is you have to make the best use of your kills to make sure you use the number advantage to your advantage and not just do nothing with it. Right? You have to make sure you're getting something for your loss. So Eliza died. What did we get for it?
Oh, Charm goes wide. Blonde able to avoid it. 2-man shockwave, but it's 3 members of Cornell in the mid lane, and they're able to get that kill. But the pressure is on Akutso in the bot lane. Indigo's just trying his best to get some CS, but Mech, I don't think that turret's long for this world.
No, I don't think that turret's long for this world, and we're starting to get into rough Caitlyn Lux time. That's still doing a lot of damage, but Maokai does not have the ultimate anymore. Won't be as much zoning as before.
Brody flashing onto the carry. Levi's doing a lot of damage. This is an Essence Reaver Smolder, and Blonde has come in as well. Ottawa mid laner teleporting in to make a play happen. Lux finds the root, but doesn't have the follow-up for the rest of his team. Meanwhile, Prod's taking a visit up into the top lane. Equalizer goes down, and Eliza taken down with the gank. Ultimate coming in. Levi still aggressive as always. Failwind going to use the ultimate to dash out of here as the first turret of the game goes down in the bot lane.
First turret of the game goes down pre 11.5 minutes, right? You can see Killian in the top lane trying to get as many plates as they can on this one as well. That's a little dangerous from Failwind right there. Karma does a lot of damage right now. Karma's got a 6-stack Medjais, actually.
Plex isn't messing around. He knows what kind of lane he's in. He knows what the new Karma build is. It's not a Moonstone Renewer Karma. It's not Ardent Sensor meta. No. It is damage meta.
Yeah, he's going for the Malignance, which is probably the best item in the game for a lot of these, like, a lot of the champs that like to do the enhancement stuff. Yep. So, it's actually not even bad for Ahri. But for Karma, who uses Mantra to make her standard abilities betterer, it's really good. The cooldown is like basically the same as your ultimate, and you get to just spam Mantra Qs with extra damage on it. It's insane. There's the Maokai ultimate.
Plux might get locked down here with consecutive CC coming through. Brody not using the W, though. I think he's a little scared of Levi's Smolder, who's going to avoid the root and back off. But look at the damage coming out of the Dragon. He's looking for the engage. Ultimate comes in as well, and here comes the cavalry. Plux able to pick up the first kill of the fight, and it's a lot of low health bars underneath that mid lane turret, but Ottawa do not have the wave. A lot of wave clear on the Cornell College squad, but Killian takes care of business on the top side of the map. He's able to secure the turret up there. Look at the CC chain. Takes down Prod in the jungle mech. And that's what Ottawa's got to be careful of.
Yeah, so while the first 7 minutes of this game were not fantastic for Cornell College, the last couple minutes have been excellent. Right?
Oh, equalizer comes in, MEC.
And
that's going to be a kill in the shockwave as well. Oh, goodness. It's all fun and games until the level 11 Rumble starts joining the fight.
Oh, my. Okay. Killian's having a day. I don't know if you noticed the flash to get an E. He's having a little bit of a day right here.
As Ottawa's going to be able to finish off the outer turrets, and it looks like, Levi not going to stay, Plux as well. They've got low health bars. They almost complete the perfect early game. They're going to focus on Dragon instead of getting that last turret plate.
Malawi going for the Spirit Visage, I believe, here. It may have just been an early cloak to help with the magic damage, but that will eventually get turned into a Spirit Visage. Alawi's another one of those champions that, hey, did you used to build Divine Sunderer? Well, guess what? Now you build Sundered Sky. So I expect to see a Sundered Sky coming through pretty quickly here. We already see one over on Vi. Smolder is going for the AD build, though, which generally I don't recommend. But hey, his Smolder's better than mine right now, so...
So who are we?
Who am I to talk about Smolder builds?
Liza has to be careful up here. Here comes Killian, and he's not afraid to just put the flamethrower on. Eliza goes down in the river, so does the mid lane turret. Prod looking for the engage ball delivery system on top of the ultimate. Smolder comes in with the support of old mama coming in, and Cornell's just getting wiped off the rift here. Bot lane takes the explosive cone out of there. Failwin, not Ikutso, is going to try to escape, but the equalizer from downtown comes in. Killian takes advantage of the huge range as Levi flies in, and they clean off the fight. It is a delayed ace that comes through.
I was going to say, that fight was so long, Caitlyn is already back up at the end of it. Levi just gets to push out this top lane at this point. There's nothing that they can do against us right now. They can send Caitlyn, but Levi will just... Oh, never mind.
Boom!
Forgot Caitlyn has that ultimate. The unfun gun.
The never miss gun.
Yeah. Basically using an aimbot. Someone report Caitlyn for cheating. Hacksaws, Elite, etc. We're going to grab this Rift Herald from Prod. Rift Herald is not as good as it used to be. You can't get plates out of it anymore. We do have grubs for that instead. But Rift Herald is it's still good for taking down towers, and they'll probably end up wanting to use that in the mid lane to open up the mid lane even more. The more you open up the mid lane, the more the jungles open up to you, because you can traverse between the jungles without being shot by the tower. So we see Killian and Plux down here trying to take down Eliza.
Yeah, she doesn't have an ultimate here, and it's not going to be much of a fight. Killian 8-2-2, 2 items completed, and is just absolutely popping off. It's a huge item advantage, as Plux has got an almost stacked Medjais as well.
Oh.
Cornell College going to try and group up, look for a setup here. Can the trap succeed? They've laid out the cheese and are just waiting to spring on to Ottawa. They're looking for Killian, who does have the ultimate. He's going to be able to try and turn this one around, but the low health bar, he's taking down Beaches. He's going on a rampage, and he's got so much damage. He gets 2 before getting taken down. Failwin once again shutting down Killian. Plux, though, critically, the one with the Medjai stacks, is going to be able to hang on to those pages.
Make sure it hangs on to the pages and the letters, but it's still a 1 for 2. Right? Regardless of how you look at it. Your top lane Rumble died. Their Maokai and their Alawi.
Oh my gosh.
And their Luxall died. So, win.
And they're dealing a ton of damage to this bot lane inner turret. Blonde already took care of the top lane one. Liza's trying to hold the fort, but it's a lot of pushing power out of the 6 scrub squad as Blonde uses the shockwave to pick up another kill.
It's not looking good right now, is it, for Cornell College? I would not say that this is they're approaching an unwinnable position.
It's about at that point. Objective bounties are on the map. It's an 11,000 gold lead as the Ottawa Braves have, I think, decisively taken control of this first match in our best of 3 series. We'll see if Cornell can fight back, but it's big item advantages as they're just now getting some first items completed. Akutso's got that Storm Razor online. Peaches has got the first item completed. Lux trying to take down. There we go. A shutdown onto Blonde. Comes through as Cornell get a pick.
Here we go. That's the first bit. So win conditions for the Ottawa Braves here is continue doing what you are currently doing. I think that's. I feel like that's pretty clear. What's the Cornell College win condition per the composition, right? Alawi wants to split push. Alawi wants to go sit in top lane or bot lane and continue forcing your opponent, in this case the Ottawa Braves, to put at least one person to go defeat her in the side lane, right? She's great in the 1v1 in the top lane, in the bottom lane, right? So we get into a little fight.
They're coming in. Oh my gosh, can't run away from Rod's ultimate there. And the pushing continues. Peach is going to try and dish out some damage from far away on the low health bars. The Test of Spirit does proc there onto Killian, but the Shockwave once again comes out. Blonde looking for another kill there onto Eliza. Can't quite pull it off. Smolder calls in his mother for some help, but can't quite pick up another kill. But we've got another wave of minions. And Akutso puts down those classic Caitlyn trap lineup to try and defend the base, but it can't slow down the Grubhub-sponsored push here from Ottawa.
I hope that Levi's mother is actually watching and very confused.
It's the ultimate name.
Yeah, the ultimate name is a mom with like 4 O's and like 10 M's at the end. Mom! There's also a hidden voice line on Smolder that if you get it at one point, Smolder says, "My mom works for Riot and she's going to ban you." Which is excellent.
Oh, goodness. Plux set it
just,
up. It's a death trap of his own.
Is this it?
The Ignite? The Malignance damage?
That's a lot of damage. Karma's got a 25 stack Magi. That's too many stacks.
Just a bit too much. The rest of Ottawa, meanwhile, grouping up for Baron Nashor, pretty much just as it spawned. They are moving across the map, just like clockwork, MEC. Second nature to this team. They know how to close out games. We're going to see how quickly they can do it. This Baron power play might just be the nail in the coffin.
You see Killian already... Ooh, okay. Sorry, Peaches, that ultimate was close enough that it could have meant something right there. Blonde's going to chuck the ball into the bush, see if they find anything. If Blonde had found 2 or 3 there, Shockwave would have instantly come, and the rest of the engage would have been there, but no reason to. Bot lane just retreats out. Prod's trying to get poked out here in the top lane, but Prod's a little tanky, and it's a little rough to try and poke Prod out right now. Oh, Eliza's in a bad place again.
Trying to do her thing in the side lane, but it is just not the game for that. Killian and Plux taking care of business as usual. They're going to be pushing in all 3 lanes, and this is something we actually don't see from all the MEC teams, but when you get to the upper echelon, this is something we like to see from all the squads, trying to make sure all 3 lanes are pushing in. But you got to be careful doing the dance like Prod. He's getting caught out on his own here. See if he's able to get out. It's a lot of ultimates being used. He's getting the shield and he's trying to dash out of there. And look at the rest of the base. This is what opportunities you create when you push all 3 lanes and you attract the attention of the team. You get 2 inhibs just like that.
Yeah, this is the cross-map play that you want to see. This is what Cornell did earlier when sending Alawi down to the bot lane during the laning phase. This is what Ottawa's doing now. They say,
the equalizer!
Equalizer plus the mom ultimate over the top. It's so much damage.
Oh, the damage from Levi comes in, taking down Akutso. And just as we thought the Baron power play might be enough to close out this game, some regen health bars and a second effort comes in for Cornell as they tried to defend the Nexus, but I just don't think They have enough to defend the base. MEC, a huge shockwave's going to be able to finish off the rest of the squad as the Nexus goes down, and Ottawa takes care. Game number 1.
Smolder finally got to 225 by the end of the game.
Woohoo!
He wasn't at 225 stacks for most of that. No need for the execution. We just have straight damage.
Yeah, just like that, MEC. Game number 1 comes to a close, and Ottawa, how many kills was it? That was over 30 at least.
Yeah.
In the 20-minute game.
31 specifically for Ottawa. So that's a lot of kills. What can we do better in the next game? I think we've analyzed that game to a pretty good degree during the game. What are the adaptations we can make? I think the adaptations, as the voice in my head says, ban Rumble. Feel like a pretty good idea. And I think the second adaptation you could do is be prepared for a Kennen pick.
Okay.
We saw Killian play Kennen twice on Saturday when the Rumble was banned. It looked excellent. His Rumble looked really good tonight too. So if you're going to ban the Rumble, he may just opt into going into the Kennen, which kind of fills some of the same points that the Rumble is trying to fill, especially when it comes to team fighting, right? The Equalizer and the Slice Maelstrom, kind of both huge AoE alt damage dealing things, though the Slice Maelstrom also does some stuns if you can get it right. So big... That's what Killian wants to play. So if you're going to ban his Rumble, just be ready for the Kennen and make sure your composition deals with it. Other than that, if you're Cornell, you got to defend the jungle a little bit more. Prod was everywhere to start the game. And by everywhere, I mean everywhere but his own jungle. Because he was in the enemy jungle the whole time.
I know, right? It's like that perfect, it's like a textbook. What do you do when you have winning lanes? Well... You go into the enemy jungle and you do what Prod does. You dish out a lot of data. You start stealing camps. You start being a nuisance. And I think especially against some of those safer jungler options, Prod really showcased how there's champions out there that could really take advantage of those picks.
I think the other thing, and this is not a bot lane specific thing, but it's going to sound like it is. Smolder was an issue this game in terms of how the lane worked. So... you can give over Smolder again. That's totally fine. Just pick a lane that makes a little bit more sense. But the thing in my head is you need to have at least one winning lane if you're Cornell. The Ahri wasn't a winning lane. It was roughly an even lane. The Alawi was definitely not a winning lane. And that Gate Lux bot lane was not a winning lane. One of these lanes, you need to pick something that is really OP, that is really good in that lane to make sure that you can win through at least one lane, right? That you need to be able to go through and get something going in one lane just to make sure that the rest of your team has access to parts of the map.
Yep. But just ban all the OP champs and pick your own OP champs. It's that easy, right?
Have you ever seen the Counter-Strike copy pasta that's like, oh, this player is so good. He just needs to work on his aim and his movement. It's like unfortunately, I feel like that's what we're saying right now, and I'm not trying to be like that, harp on it, but list.
It's the list. It's the list. We'll leave it at that. Just like MEC's list, running an esports event is a long and intensive process. And here at Unified, we've run quite a few events. If you're interested in learning more about what goes into running an event like the MEC Clash from just a few weekends ago, join Unified and Play Easy for their webinar on running an esports event. It's this week, back 2 days, 2 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, February 21st. Type !webinar in the chat and follow the link to register ahead, and we hope to see you there. It's going to do it for game number 1, but we're going to get geared up and ready to go for game number 2. It's a best of 3 series. See if Cornell can come back here in this second match. Don't click away. We'll be right back.
We're here live at the MEC Fall Championship Kendo Slice. I'm joined here by Hubert Wantong, who is the Director of Esports for Simpson College. And one, thank you for bringing everybody out. But two, the question of the day has been, what does esports mean to you?
It's everything from competition to the lessons you learn off the field,
Yeah.
and outside of the arena. So any of the esports ancillary activities that we can provide players and kind of the esports knowledge. I mean, you guys doing an amazing broadcast, to people TOing, to all those different sectors of esports, and giving those students opportunities to see that.
Yeah. Events like this are, of course, are really cool. We'll get into talking about LANs in a moment, but I have to ask, with the semester, this is kind of a culmination of the semester here at the end. Was there an interaction you had with one of your students that was really memorable?
So we have been very fortunate to have a lot of students engage with our program.
Yeah.
And so if you've been watching through the season, Anomaly and Bonsai previously were on our B team, and seeing the growth from them, stepping up massively throughout the semester, season, this LAN individually.
Yeah.
It's been really, really nice to see them grow and see how the change from B team to A team has really affected them and the way that they see the game. It's absolutely phenomenal.
I know as I was talking to everybody individually, there was quite a bit of that, and the team camaraderie for what you have going on the Valorant team is spectacular. LAN environment, of course, a little bit different. What does it mean to bring a team to a LAN like the one here?
It's terrific. I mean, so obviously, like, I'm sure there are plenty of talented directors,
Yeah.
and being able to pick their brains, pick my brain, being able to work cooperatively with them, and actually put some faces to names, some faces to players, obviously, and having students be able to interact with those industry professionals and also build those bonds with other teams has been phenomenal. I was gonna say, like, being able to, we have good friends at Briarcliff, and being able to just, the players are always so excited. They're like, oh, I get to talk with Hariri or, Kenichi. Like, I'm so excited. Like, Blight and Freight have a delightful rivalry, which I always think is hilarious, where they're like, I'm the better initiator, let me see, So developing those relationships across teams has been phenomenal, and I love seeing players continue to build them across multiple teams.
Definitely a couple of characters.
Oh, yeah.
You compare Blight and Flurry Train. That's an amazing back and forth that those two have. Okay. We've seen so many different moments throughout. Was there a spot throughout this fall 23 semester where you're sitting there and the team wowed you? Like, what's that esports moment for fall 23?
It's arguably the least flashy. So
Okay.
Our losers finals tonight, actually.
Yeah.
We busted out Sunset, which is not something that I think a lot of teams are playing. We sure aren't. And it's some of the best team play I've ever seen. Like, I know that we have a lot of standout players, Siders being one of them. And it was one of the biggest joys to see him not drop 30. And that's a weird statement, but, like, for his team to keep up and for them to really take a lot of load off of him, I think was a really special moment for us, for sure.
I love that answer. Seeing the team growth all together.
Exactly.
That's all encompassing.
Yes.
For you in this moment. Looking forward to the future. What is on the docket for Simpson College going into next semester? What's something that you're personally really looking forward to?
Something world domination.
Yeah, let's go.
We've got NACE playoffs coming up.
Yep.
So all of our teams are playoff bound. All four of them: Rocket League, AB, and Valorant AB. So Simpson College esports is going to continue to go strong, and we're just prepping going into playoffs for next week.
Gonna have to watch that Rocket League team.
I'm just saying. I was gonna say it's a nice
looking
preview
forward
for
to it.
MEC.
Let's
Is
go.
all I'm saying. Hey!
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Well,
So.
I really appreciate the time.
Of course,
and
I
I know
appreciate
we've
your
been
time.
waiting for y'all.
Coming back home. I don't wanna wake up. Oh my gosh, you're trying to kill me in my sleep. Rough sex making you my enemy. Oh, wow. be honest, baby. I kinda like the fact that you kinda crazy. Yeah, you bipolar just like me. That ain't a problem, baby. No. Girl, you're soaking wet 'cause I'm making it rain. Come on, hop.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our continuing coverage of the MEC 2024 CLOL season. My name's Mac Dewey. Still with me in the casting booth is my main man, MEC, and we've got a Monday night series on our hands. Ottawa Braves took Game 1 against Cornell College, and Killian's Rumble in the draft. I feel like that's all you need to know.
Mac and my main man, Mac. That's a lot of alliteration in one sentence, man. Yeah, Killian Rumble, that was the start of the show, but the rest of the team was excellent the entire game, right? Like, they won all three lanes, they won the jungle. Smolder had an excellent game, managed to get to 225 by the end of the game. Karma had a 25 stack Medjai's. Oriana was hitting shock ball after shock ball, and the ball delivery, Vi was the best ball delivery system that could have been. So do it again, I guess, if you're Ottawa. just Control C, Control V.
As a computer science major, I'm quite familiar with the strategy.
Sorry. Quick nerd tangent. I have a Stack Overflow branded keyboard that just has Control C and V on it.
That's great, Beck. I need a pic of that.
I will send it to you. It's a limited edition mini keyboard they made that I got for I think it was like free or something. Regardless.
That's sick.
Cornell College needs to pick a strategy that will work for them. Now, I'm going to suggest a strategy out here. Ban Rumble.
Yep.
Let's start
Step one.
I think that is an instantaneous thing. You should just ban the Rumble. It shouldn't exist in the next game. If it does, you better have a really good counter for it. Right? Don't go start playing Malphite into Rumble. We won't ever pan to the top lane if that's the case. Right? Like, or something else. I don't know. But we need a better counter into the Rumble or ban the Rumble. In the bot lane, a winning lane, I think, is the goal here. I think the mid lane actually went perfectly fine. I think the jungle, Maokai's a little weak early, and the Vi just was ready to take advantage of that, especially with the 3 winning lanes. I think the Maokai was fine, especially when we got into a lot of the skirmishes that Maokai was able to use the ultimate over a broader area and get the across the board. But we're going to get into draft here. Let's see what the first ban from Cornell College will be. They're over on the blue side this game, and it's the Rumble. Okay, they're listening. Good job. Let's do it.
They got this. I'm excited to see. It's game number 2 of our best of 3 series. Cornell looking for a win to even us up here. Ottawa trying to look to move on to 4-1. And Ottawa, they lose Trickster during the offseason. Prod looked fantastic in that match, and I think if he's able to keep on going on that trail, Ottawa's looking to shoot for the stars again. This is a team that made it into the second round of the national tournament, so a roster with a lot of high hopes. They can really go far, and I mean, when they're playing like they did in game number 1, they're pretty hard to stop, especially from, I feel like, I love, Mech, I'm sure we do too, in this sort of trying to theorize the draft, what can we actually piece together to sort of stop this squad? And it's hard to figure out. Ottawa potentially leaving the Karma open. I think Cornell here correctly waiting to sort of give that up to Ottawa. We'll have to see if Ottawa is willing to give it away.
Yeah, we'll see if Cornell wants to pick it. It could go into any of the lanes. I don't know if Eliza is a Karma player. It's not every top laner is a Karma player. Most mid laners are. Yeah. It's a pretty standard control mage there.
Yeah, they banned the Maokai.
Basically every support is as well. So we'll have a new jungle over on the Cornell College side. We'll have a new top laner over on the Ottawa side. Now, we talked about this at the end of the last game.
Another tally, by the way, Mac.
Okay, there we go. Smolder picked up from the Cornell College side. That's a good adaptation from the last one. We saw that they picked the Caitlyn Lux lane to start. They're not doing that anymore. The Tristana here is locked in. I'd be willing to bet that's going mid lane. We don't really see bot lane Tristana anymore, but it could be a flex down there. Be prepared on the Ottawa Brave side to see a Kennen. that to me has been Killian's secondary choice after the Rumble, and it fits the same ballpark. We talked about it after the last game. Karma locked in over there. That's a triple flex. That's a blitzcrank. So
we've seen a lot more of those recently, eh?
They're going for a kill lane in the bot lane. So their Smolder blitzcrank is scary. You thought Smolder Karma was scary. Oh, wait.
Stop.
Whoa.
I can't. Can't look.
No.
Not yet.
So
not yet. Oh
okay. My. So this is a Smolder mid lane. This is for Failwin. This is a blind pick mid lane. Well, this may not
crazy.
be blind if it's into the Tristana. There's a Draven Blitz bot lane here. Oh goodness, we've just been told Failwin has played Draven mid. So we don't know what's going on. And I'm gonna reserve my judgments on lane assignments for a little bit. Zeri locked in. That's a Zeri bot lane.
Wow.
Okay, so Zeri Karma bot and a Tristana mid. Over on the Cornell College side, all we know is Blitzcrank is going into the support role. He's not good jungle anymore, and he's not a laner. So Blitzcrank will be in support role.
I guess my reaction with that, MEC, I was actually thinking that the Tristana could maybe be used to go into the bot lane as a counter to the Blitzcrank. You have the rocket jump buffer. It's really good against the Blitzcrank hook. And so I was maybe expecting that to be swapped in. But I know, MEC, as you were saying, we don't see Tristana bot too much anymore.
Well, not even that, but we don't see Zeri mid.
Yeah.
we saw it once last year in the LEC. We saw Eminus play Zeri mid. It did not look particularly good. That's it. We're not going to see Zeri mid again. I do not expect Blonde to play Zeri mid. So that's the story right there. I mean, it could be, theoretically, I guess it could be a Zeri Tristana bot lane, but that would be very weird.
No, we're getting too deep into.
That's too deep.
I'll say Shippy's dark web text that he comes up with.
I think the only way you could do that is if you played AP Tristana, which sounds ridiculous, but it has to do with the bomb scaling.
Yep.
And you play like Halo Blaze Tristana, it would be weird. Shinzao and Jax both banned, so we're starting to dig into the jungle pool. Lilia banned as well from Ottawa Braves. Junglers and top lanes are what's left. We're seeing Jax play a little bit more in jungle recently than we have been in the top lane, but could go either way. Just waiting on one more ban here for Cornell College.
Kennan's still up?
Kennen is still up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ottawa leave the Kennen. Okay, so there's the Kennen. So,
let's go.
What will Killian play? And for that matter, what will Prod play? He was playing the Lee Sin. Did he play Lee Sin? He was playing the Xin Zhao last time that we saw him. And really good on that. He played the Vi last game. The Vi's still up. So he could run it back on the Vi. But with this composition, I would be surprised that it wouldn't be a tank in the jungle.
Yeah. Let's see. Pick coming in for Ottawa. Vi returns back onto the Rift for game number 2 here in Cornell College, MEC. They've got a lot of work to do in terms of rounding out their composition. Cuddy, I think, going to be challenged here. He struggled against the Vi, and Prod kind of took over with the help of his aggressive lanes. That definitely helped sway the jungle matchup a bit in his favor, but the Vi, it's tough to play into that in the early game. There are still a lot of jungle options here, but let's see. Zach maybe going up to the top lane.
Yeah, so the Zach pick here means that you can't use it as a flex, right? You're picking your next champion after, unless both of the champions can go both top and jungle. Yeah. And then you'll pick it based on what you see from the counter pick that they're leaving Killian in the 5th. We'll see. I'd be willing. This is a Zach. If this gets locked in. Okay, so the Cho'Gath gets locked in. That's a Cho'Gath. I have a lot of questions.
Zach jungle.
Zach jungle. Is this going to be an AP Cho'Gath? Or is this going to be a tank Cho'Gath? I seriously mean that.
I think Eliza actually plays quite a bit of Cho'Gath. This might be one of her little members of, I'll say, Eliza's top lane goon squad of champions here. And with the Alistar hovered and locked in to go into the aggressive Blitzcrank Smolder, We'll see how the lanes sort out
What
here,
is
but I
going
think you're
on?
right. Tristana in the mid lane, Zeri, Alistar, Smolder mid, Draven into the bot lane. And this is kind of interesting here. We got short range ADCs going against each other, but I think Akutsu and Peach is a lot more early game strength.
Yeah.
And I think with that, I mean, you kind of bait the potential Blitzcrank counter into Karma because she's a flex. You can leave that open. It's pretty safe to go into the Cho'Gath. And actually, you get something in the Alistar where you really don't want to be pulling the Alistar towards you. You really don't want the smoke.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, but I think the point of contention here is really going to be the bot lane. Can Draven get ahead early? That's the number one question revolving around this game, right? Smolder will, after a certain amount of time, get really fed. Not really fed, but will get enough stacks to be a 225 to be able to do the whole thing, right? Zeri, pentakill Pikachu, right? Like, will go off in a team fight. That's just kind of how Zeri works. And the top side for Cornell College is pretty safe. Not in like a bad way safe, just in a like they need a stabilizing force after the last game, and Cho'Gath is a great stabilizing force. So is Zach. Zach is able to be everywhere all at once. So the bot lane for Cornell is going to be the real focal point for them. Can the Draven get ahead? If the Draven can get ahead, that's a lot of damage coming in from them, and Failwind's Smolder will come through as it goes. Over on the Ottawa side, it's a totally different composition, right? Like than we saw last game. We saw the Rumble from Killian. Yeah. This is not Rumble. This is totally different, right? Like this is a Karma. I like it. It's going to be used to poke out this Cho'Gath in lane, but there will just be a point where Karma doesn't do anything to Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's going to go like Spirit Visage first, and that's it. Right? Like once Cho'Gath gets the Spirit Visage, there is no more playing Karma.
Yeah. Did the Magic Shield new item get nerfed
Phoenix
already? Or is that still... I feel like I've been seeing a lot of that. I know there's not a lot of magic damage on this Ottawa squad, but I wonder if we'll see that as well.
So it got nerfed. It's still really good. Because no matter the nerf, you're getting like a 600 point magic damage shield.
Pretty good.
It's really good. Like it
scales with
like,
health too, right?
Yeah, it scales with bonus health, which Cho'Gath gets a lot of. It's the problem is it's probably not the best thing to go here, right? It's a lane specific thing. Your Vi, the Tristana, the Zeri, they're all going to be dealing AD damage. So unless this Karma gets really fed, you're probably itemizing like Merc Treads and maybe first item, and that's it. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Eliza go something like Jock Shows first to get some mixed, and then from there go armor only. Over on the Ottawa side, it's straight AD.
Well, Summoners, welcome on to the Rift for game number 2 of our Monday night MEC action. Cornell College on the Blues side trying to get a game back on the Ottawa Braves, who cruised to victory in game number 1. They got a little bit of a different composition this time around. I think this Draven Blitzcrank bot lane, Utso and Peaches, let's see if they can make some magic happen as an early invade's going to be spotted out by that Trinket Ward.
Ottawa shouldn't want to fight here.
They have no sweepers. Oh my gosh, they don't know.
Ottawa shouldn't want to fight here. On the other hand, I would believe it if Ottawa just said, we are fighting this.
Oh gosh, I'm holding my breath. This is such a big moment. They may catch out Eliza, who's all alone here.
Eliza's
she gets caught
dead.
out in the solo push, and first blood goes over to the Ottawa Braves.
It's lost. It's so bad. It goes to the Zeri. Oh no. Zeri now can be up an item in the bot lane.
Oh my gosh, they're just going to feed it to him.
No.
Failwind does have teleport, so he'll be able to get back to lane pretty quickly. And he's going to use that summoner spell, which may cause a little bit of trouble. Teleport against Tristana is actually really valuable if you need one of those quick recalls. So burning that really early is going to be a bit of a hindrance to Failwind here early on.
Yeah, I do say good on Cornell College for not using any other summoner spells, specifically flashes. You knew you were going to die. You just take the death. And neither Levi or Blonde actually backed there, so this level 1 will just be a standard level 1, other than the fact that like they have an extra level in terms of Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
But the after the first back, depending on how the rest of this lane goes with that extra level pressure, it could be bad.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes as Ottawa with an early 1K gold lead on their lovely ADCs who had a great performance in the previous match. Levi, an anchor for this Ottawa squad, him and Plux. I mean, yeah, as you mentioned before, it's going the gold in the perfect place when it gets into Levi's pockets, who headbutt pulverizes his way into some damage. They got the wave shoving in their favor. And I wonder if Cornell are going to be able to freeze this.
You know what? Akutsu's doing very well on this Draven to start the game. I'm very happy with the way this Draven is playing right now. I know we're under 3 minutes into the game, but this is kind of how you want the Draven to play. A little bit more aggressive. I wanted to make sure that they get a bunch of minion kills right there. They're one back. Zeri's just kind of sitting there trying to shove the wave. Liza, on the other hand, is actually winning this against the Karma right now, and I do expect Cho'Gath to overall win this lane. Karma wants to go in team fight, hit mantra W's. That's a...
Oh my gosh, everyone's in the mid lane. It's a party! Is Cheese Ravioli's going to try to get on out of there. Brody able to flash on out, and Phelan actually able to survive as well. MEC, I was expecting a lot more blood there in the mid lane.
Yeah, I was expecting a little more there too. I think Cuddy's missed Q on the Zac, trying to go for Blonde there on the Tristana jumping in. We also saw Blonde jump over. This is a dive. This is a level 4 dive.
And Eliza, nothing she can do, but a lot of damage. Prod's able to flash on out and escape in a really well executed dive. I feel like this is what Ottawa's kind of known for, their early aggressiveness.
You can see already that the Alistar was prepped for the Zac in the bot lane. Time bomb on Felwyn, but it won't kill. But Blonde's just continuously shoving this lane. Blonde already has backed for what it's worth. Did grab the regular longsword, so he's got a little bit more push in the lane. Zeri, on the other hand, that kill is kind of neutralized at this point, right? Draven's up 10 CS. Zeri's going to try and get some under tower, but the kill's probably worth 15 CS this early.
Mm-hmm.
And with a kill worth that much and you're up just about that much, you've kind of neutralized that first kill.
Yeah. I wonder though, Cornell, they've got this hopefully ticking time bomb for Kutso trying to rack up a bunch of gold as Blonde goes in, and the explosive charge. What a flash there from Blonde, knowing the limits, able to get the kill despite being close to turret. As I was saying with the Kutso, though, Cornell College, they kind of struggled to play around the bot lane in game number 1, and it's pretty much at this point all riding on a Kutso's Draven to turn this one around.
Yeah, I mean, I said this during draft. That's going to be where they live or die, is this bot lane. Can the Draven get ahead? If they can, it's going to be a really tough game for Ottawa to win.
Oh, the flash from Killian. It's getting close up here. Uses the Mantra W to heal up twice, and that might be the deciding swing here. Eliza, I don't know how close she is to level 6, but the Feast
not close
is
enough.
looking more like Famine as no. Oh my gosh, the flash! No way! She escapes somehow. Eliza with some fancy footwork to get on out of there.
The HP on Eliza was so low that we could not see it in the top left of the HUD where you see Eliza's picture. It was single-digit health for Eliza. But you can see the Negatron cloak being the first thing coming through here for Eliza. You do not want to have to deal with this. Headbutt pulverize in the bot lane. Knock up from Peaches. But this Alistar is looking dead, but may be able to turn it quickly.
Oh, you want to connect on those hooks if you're Peaches. There's a big swing as the junglers shake hands in the bot lane, but those are some of the bot lane plays we're talking about, right? Head's in the right place for Cornell, but execution a little bit off there.
All right, well, Elwin's definitely a little behind here. But we'll see if Felwyn can get even a little bit further ahead into this lane, make it a little bit more even than it was before. That's a good hook from Peach, just a little shy. You pull that Zarian with no mana, it's a little harder to deal with, no jumping away with the E. Draven's playing this well right now. Blonde keeps jumping into this mid lane, trying to get one up on Felwyn, but it's only worked once.
I know, he just wants to keep going in. Yeah. Meanwhile, Prod already invading early on, knows he has the pressure from Blonde to help out here, and he's going to be able to take away some jungle objectives here. He's going to go in and just go toe-to-toe with Brody there, but gotta be careful. Sweet Peach coming up to support and help out as well. Dragon has spawned as well as the Void Grubs. Both teams, though, I think they're more concerned with kills than they are with objectives. Here comes Peach as the knock-up, the hook. Felwyn not wanting it. It's Felwyn's playing scared here, and Blonde's going to take advantage of that, looking for the kill. He takes it. Blonde's on a killing spree, and is just going to be able to rocket jump on out.
Yeah, the rocket jump on reset for the kill is brutally good for Tristana this early in the game. You see the Karma trying to roam down. Mantra W.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, just a W. Mantra Q doing so much damage with it, though.
And that's going to open things up on the bottom side of the map. Akutsu's got to back off and say goodbye to all that lovely CS. Levi's going to be able to cash in on some turret plates. Prod, not yet level 6, but Flux is looking for the engage. They're going for Akutsu, who's going down low. Ignite onto him, but not going down just yet. There's the ultimate from Prod to finish that off. Another turret shot. It's going to finish him off. It's 2 kills turned around, but they're not going in the right place, MEC. Flux looking for the re-engage. He's got a lot of health to work with. The stun coming through. No way. Flux, can he turn it around? He's trying to stomp out all the goo. Peach looking for the hook over the wall. Plex says, I'll take it. I'm coming over. The ignite, though, the trade, supportal combat always ends in a brutality. The supports trade lives.
I really thought that Plex could get both of them there. That was, okay. Draven was able to get one before he died. Plex was able to get one before he died. It became much better of a dive for the Cornell College side than I think either of us had anticipated at the beginning of that. Blonde is going to take a tower shot for that, but we'll have a plate. They're just going to... Ottawa Braves are just going to keep on keeping on right here. That's their goal. They like their chances right now on how they're playing this game, especially with the 280 carries getting a little fed.
And MEC, you talked about it. Cornell College in this game too. Live and die. But we got an engage. Felwyn barely able to get on out of there. But as I was saying, they live and die by Akutsu's Draven. And I feel like he was the biggest loser out of that bot lane play. But let's see if they could turn it around here. One axe after another. The hook connects there onto Levi. One more ultimate. There we go. Akutsu cashes in.
Yeah, Akutsu cashes in, but they had to give up a lot to get that. We'll see if Akutsu can survive here, because Plux is already here with the Alistar. Ultimate down, knock up there. Doesn't have much health, and the kill is going to be gifted over to Blonde, as Killian's just continuously pushing this top lane in, right? The Cho'Gath is such a good champion post 25 minutes, right? When you can get a bunch of feast stacks going.
Yeah.
But against this Karma early game, who just deals so much damage, has been brutal.
Yeah, and Killian, complete control up in the top lane, able to flash away there from the gank, and Prod's actually going to come up here and dish out some damage, looking for more invades or maybe a dive. Eliza's looking quite low. Might just ignore Cuddy altogether as Plux uses the ultimate. As Eliza goes down up in the top lane, one more punch is going to do the trick. Cuddy does get level 6 on the Zac as the bot laners run away. Plux with the Alistar ultimate, able to survive all of that damage as Levi's in the mid lane going toe-to-toe with Felwyn. Blonde's the one sticking around in the bot lane. Cheese Ravioli getting low. I believe the passive is available as the flash ultimate's used here. Cheese Ravioli getting cooked to perfection. Zac ultimate comes down. Teleports are available, and they're going to be able to save him here and back off. And Cheese Ravioli, while cooked, comes out of the oven, looking just fine with the help of Eliza. But the re-engage coming through all over the map. There is action, MEC. We just got to keep rolling with it. It's MEC madness as Prod goes down. Killian tries to answer. Shut down for Eliza with the Feast ultimate. And now, is this going to be the 2v2 victory that Cornell has been looking for? It's a Mantra Q to the face. Cheese Ravioli sent back to base. And still Killian pulling off the 1v1 here. I don't know when the Mantra W healing's coming through, but he's got the blue suede shoes on, dodging all the Qs. I can't believe it. Plun's gone from bot lane to mid, now to top, collecting kills in all 3 lanes potentially. Eliza trying to get on out of there, but one more Mantra Q is going to slow down. Oh my gosh, she barely gets out. Ottawa going toe-to-toe with Cornell here. I'm going to try and take a breath here, MEC.
What do you even say about all that? It was the longest non-fight of humankind.
We got more action in the bot lane here. Teleport comes in. It's Killian from the top lane joining. It's a 4-on-4. Levi dishing out the damage, safe in the back line. Akutsu goes down. Same with Peaches. It's the Cornell bot lane that falls first in the river. Cheese Ravioli going to try to elastic slingshot his way out of there, but Prod continues to punch through Cornell.
Blonde is getting so fed right now. Prod is getting fed right now. Prod already has the Sundered Sky like ready to go. It's bad. It's not great. Blonde may die here though.
Beast is available, but so is Rocket Jump.
All right, Zeri will take this tower down here in the bot lane, and Draven is not in a great place anymore, right? We said live for die. Live for die. We said they live or die through this Draven, and well, right now they're dying through the Draven.
1-3-2, and I think, you know, especially after that first turret goal, first time Draven dies, it's like that early game investment. You're like, you're really hoping it pays off, but it's like, oh wait, stock market crashes, and the Draven stock goes way down after that first death. Is somewhat keeping pace, does have that first item completed, but it's starting to get a little out of hand. Ottawa up 6,000 gold here at the 14-minute mark.
Yeah, so this is going to be a deep cut, right? If you've ever done marching band, there's a thing with marching band that says if you're early, you're on time, and if you're on time, you're late, because you need time to like set your instrument up and get warmed up before you actually start marching band practice.
Yeah,
it's the same idea with Draven. If you're tied, you're losing the lane, right? Draven's advantage is being able to get so much more gold early and snowball that into elite, getting the stacks from Draven to make sure you start to get the executes to get snowballing. So if you're just going even in a lane with Zeri, who's going to outscale you eventually, right? Zeri is the holder of like most of the pentakills in the last 3 or 4 years, or however long it's been since Zeri's been out. So knowing that Zeri's going to outscale you late game, you need to do well in the early game. So if you're just even, you're losing.
We'll see how it goes as Ottawa attacking the mid lane. Blonde trying to take care of the turret as Plux goes in with the ultimate. He's able to tank up a whole lot of turret damage, but Ottawa's going to try to retreat here. The lockdown comes through, though. Peach with the hook in. Plux barely survives. Shelly charge. Is that going to line up correctly? Prod going in, trying to thread the needle, and he does. The turret goes down as we see the wet noodle fight in the top lane. Another Rift Herald charge comes through. Oh my goodness. Tokyo Drift there into the mid lane turret, and the fight continues as Ottawa continues to look for more turret damage. But with 4 members, I believe, of Cornell in that mid lane mech, it's going to be too much for Ottawa to handle. They back off.
I'm happy that you said Tokyo Drift, because I've been casting a lot with Travesty, and he says every time he sees that, he gets the oh my goodness, what's the drifting anime that I cannot remember the name of right now? Initial D. Oh my goodness, how did I never forget? He hears the Initial D opener.
Yep.
So because I always hear the Tokyo Drift opener, so I'm happy we're on the same page here. All right,
meanwhile, Ottawa on the same page here in the bot lane. Huge damage coming out from the whole squad. Prod is on the killing spree. She's Ravioli getting low here. Eliza with a lot of MR, but not a lot of armor. As Blonde might actually be shut down here. He's trying to cash in. Please, Peaches. Yes, a shutdown for Akutsu. That's where you want the gold. More pushing power, meanwhile, in this bot lane. Killian trying to shove in the lane. Geez, Ravioli knocking everybody around here. Big damage and CC coming through. Levi, finally some damage for the side of Ottawa. It's like your support Karma top. You know, Malignant's Leandri's quote-unquote support Karma top. It's a different season here, MEC. Not what we're used to seeing. But finally, some of the tanks go down. Ottawa get another turret. They extend their gold lead to 8,000.
Yeah, this is a big gold lead, and I think the biggest part of this gold lead is there is all 3 Tier 1 towers taken for Ottawa Braves.
Yep.
2 of the 3 Tier 2 towers gone. They're on inhib towers in the bot lane and the mid lane. And they're not far off in the top lane either. On the other side of the ball, no towers taken right now for Cornell College. So think about every time when you look at the League of Legends map, right? You can actually see that there's this river in the map. And that's generally your midline, right? So that's where anything to up and to the right of that is where Ottawa Braves call home. That's their safe area, right? Anything to the bottom left for Cornell College. As you start to take towers, that line pushes in the direction away from the team that took the towers, right? So the line now of like safe space for Cornell College is really small, right? It's like the very edge of their jungle and their base, and that's it. So Cornell College have to play really safe now because they don't know what's going on in their jungle. They don't have the vision really in it, and they don't have the towers to be able to help protect it. So because of all of that, right, it's really hard for Cornell College to leave their base. And you see that right here with Failwin and Akutsu just trying to leave their base to walk somewhere, and they can't do it because Blonde's there slapping them right outside the tower range.
We got a fight in the base of Cornell College. Numbers advantage for the defending team, but Levi gets the first kill of the fight, is going to shift that numbers in advantage for Ottawa. 4-on-4 here. Prod going into the back line. He's looking for Akutsu as Eliza gets low. Failwin trying to dish out the damage. Akutsu stays alive. He interrupts Prod's dash, and that's another shutdown. Akutsu cashes in. Levi trying to look for more kills, and Blonde is just going to keep on pushing more and more turrets for the Ottawa mid laner as he continues to pick up objective after objective.
Yeah, that's the problem right now. That's the biggest problem. You had all 5 people on Cornell sitting right inside the base fighting the 4 from Ottawa. Ottawa won that fight and did not have their biggest carry on the team in Blonde sitting there with them. They were able to do that without Blonde, and Blonde was able to take a tower in the bot lane.
Oh, see ya! Oh my gosh, Killian also going to be able to get out? That's crazy.
That's some gamer move right there by whew, gamer moves there by Plux.
Yep, deep breaths for Ottawa as they get back recall and pick up more gold. On 2 items. Akutsu's trying to match that pace. He's got his collector completed. Really wants to cash in on all that Draven gold with the collector there, able to get that execute. Baron Nashor has just spawned, and Ottawa may be hunting his Blonde. Gonna dish out quite a bit of damage. Oh my gosh, they're already starting it up.
Yeah, so talking about the AD carries, you said that they were similar on items. They are like strikingly close on items right now, right? The Crit Cloak and the Pickaxe is like 1,500-ish gold. The Zeal plus the Dagger is like 1,500-ish gold. Then they both have 2 items. So the bot lane is actually pretty even right now. It'll be a little less even in a second here if Itsuko can grab this kill, which he does. But they're gonna they took the Baron. So they have a lot of push in this top lane between Prod and Killian. And they want to take down this top lane inhibitor tower.
It's going to be 5-on-4 advantage for Cornell. They're going to have to try their best to defend the base. Levi, the biggest damage threat here, but the Ottawa team is split. They're also trying to split Cornell as Plux gets a huge engage, but not a lot of follow-up. Prod looking for the carries in the backline. He's going on to Failwin, but Akutsu's there. Prod trying to flash away now out of the engage. He's gone too deep. Levi trying to take care of the mid lane inhibitor turret, but MEC, Ottawa has to back off here.
we've actually seen this fight happen before. We saw it happen about 3-4 minutes ago when Ottawa was trying to push into the base as well. And we saw the 5-on-4 actually lose out on the Cornell side, and Ottawa was able to take a tower by not having Blonde there and just having Blonde in the bot lane. Now we see a totally different version of this, right? The 5-on-4, it looked pretty Cornell favored. Until right now.
And
Now
here
it's
we
not
go,
Cornell favored.
Levi coming in. Big ultimate from Phelan, Akutsu flashing over the wall. The Liv and Brett, come on. Draven ADC Cornell fans cheering. Akutsu trying to pop off, but Levi dashing in, and here comes Blonde. They've hooked in Levi. That's going to be a big kill shutdown for Akutsu. Blonde able to answer back. So much gold has gone into the Draven. He completes the Infinity Edge. He's on 3 items along with Levi, but look at the base. It is looking scary for Cornell, so it's going to be the mid lane inhibitor going down.
And Blonde is here. Blonde is one of the people. Blonde's playing Tristana, one of like 3 champions that takes towers so quickly and efficiently in this game. Trundle and Ziggs being the other 2 off the top of my head, right? So Tristana just puts the explosive charge on the tower, is able to burn them. You can see him doing it in the top lane tower right there, especially with Demolish. It means these towers don't exist for very long. You can just keep hitting them as Blonde maybe solo killing Zach there.
Oh my goodness, the Baron power play continues. Akutsu tries to take down Blonde, but he fails, and now Prod has found the ADC for Cornell. One punch after
Smolders
another,
up,
but the execute has arrived. Phelan with some damage of his own. Killian ends up with a triple kill on the Karma top. Flux knocks him back, some big damage coming through. Phelan trying to continue this fight. Levi is rushing in, and the Baron super minions start to flood the base here. Headbutt, pulverize, Phelan not safe underneath the turret. The ace comes through. Only the Nexus turret stands, and in game number 2, Ottawa Braves reign supreme as the Nexus falls, and they're going to take the series, moving to 4-1 on the season.
Yeah, Ottawa Braves now have sole possession of 3rd place. So it'll be ONU, then Purdue Northwest, then Ottawa, then Grandview. Yeah, that's how
I know
that works.
Hyper is quick with some of the production graphics. I don't know if he's this quick with the updated standings.
No, I don't think he is. But it's okay. What I just told you is true and gospel, unless it's not true. Yeah, that game looked doomed from level 1, and actually Cornell College did a really good job at clawing it back from the level 1. Right, you gift the 280 carries over on Ottawa 2 kills to start. That should be brutal. That should be impossible to come back from. But it felt that Cornell College was with them every step of the way. Up until the Tristana just was able to farm on her own. Up until the Tristana was just able to keep going at it and keep destroying towers. It didn't feel like Tristana was getting a huge amount of kills, though she was. It felt like Tristana was just destroying towers, and that was her job. And that's okay to be the Tristana's job, right? Like, she's really good at it. Let her do it.
Yeah, Ottawa with some good drafts here. Some solid compositions. Blonde, I wasn't expecting a Tristana out of him here, but he made it look good. 2 Smolder games, MEC. I get in on some of the Smolder action. It looked quite fun. Goes 1-1 here in the series, and yeah, as we mentioned, Ottawa moving on up 4-1 on the season. I think they're only lost to Purdue Northwest, so we've got some exciting matches coming up in the next week, but that's it for week 3 here on the MEC. I know we got the post-game interview coming up shortly. Man, MEC, what a Monday night series.
Yeah, it was a good Monday night series. It's good to round out the week this week this way with a nice 2-0, bringing bringing Ottawa into sole possession of 3rd place. But before we get into the interview, before we take a quick break, esports events are not more than just a place to compete. It's a social experience. I am part of an online Counter-Strike community, basically a beer league, and we all got to meet each other at IEM Dallas last year. Okay, let me first. Everyone else got to meet each other at IEM Dallas last year, and they had a really great time together, just being a part of a group together, right, of people online. So you get to meet all your friends and rivals. You can find other people that you know and make memories with people you've only ever met online. And it helps with, like, esports is really cool when you meet these people that you never met before. Gamers and their experience are just one aspect of what's covered in Unified's newest offering, Mastering the Arena People Power Esports, which you can read using the command !people power in the chat below. We'll be back after a quick break, and then we'll be here with the interview. See you guys in a minute.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the post-game interview. We've got OU Fawn joining us. Thank you so much for joining us for the post-game interview.
Hello.
So, Fawn, can you tell us a little bit about what you actually do at OU? Because you weren't in the server in the last game, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, I was. I was in the server. I just moved on. Well, I wasn't in the pregame or whatever, but I was in the server talking to my players. I was going through our draft line beforehand, so I just didn't join the lobby. You know what I mean? But, yeah.
So you're the coach. That's what I was trying to get at there.
Yes, okay. Yes, I am the head coach of this team.
Yeah, in the server was more of on the Rift itself.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's what you meant. That makes sense.
That's where I was. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I was going there. I guess let's start with the draft. Let's start with the second game because we've got that a little bit more in our heads right now. The Zeri and the Tristana in the first three there. Were you worried about any counter picks from the other side once you hit those two in the first three picks?
Well, I mean, they blind pick Smolder, and the Tristana can follow the Smolder wherever she goes down, right? And then my top laner kind of just said, I don't know who this person is, but I want to pick Karma. So I just picked Karma on two, because he wanted AP, you know? Like, normally we have other magic damage champions. We planned on having a double AD comp, most likely, because we figured that the Smolder was going to go mid lane just because of what their OP.GG was. I think their mid laner is usually just been spamming Smolder on mid, so we just planned it out that way so that we have a favorable matchup no matter what. And then we were planning on just playing for AD counter whenever we could. I think it was very interesting for them to drop the Draven Blitzcrank on our faces, because we could just pick we can just double counter them almost immediately and have a jungler that can just be whatever, you know? It's not very easy for them to play. It was very funny. Like, when we were going to the game, we were like, well, we know that they're just going to walk in through bot side on the try bush, right? So we just immediately placed the ward on try, and
like clockwork. You saw the textbook, page 3. Blitzcrank invade. Pretty. Saw it coming a little bit. Fawn, I'm curious for you guys coming into this season. High expectations. You guys are sitting at 4-1 in the standings at the moment, feeling pretty good. I'm curious how the mindset is for the team moving forward. Playoffs. We're just getting close to halfway through the season. How's the mindset of the team looking as you guys continue to make your way through the 2024 split?
I mean, my team is very vibes based, right? We're looking, every day is a new adventure, every day is a new journey, right? We have a really tight schedule, I guess is the best way to put it. So we don't get as much practice as we probably could, all that stuff like that. But like, we're moving along. We're also, doing as much work as possible, and we're, trying to give everyone a good opportunity and experience. I think I have 2 players graduating this semester, something like that. So I'm just giving people time to play, time to have an enjoyable life in CELO. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what it is, It's an experience,
Yeah, absolutely.
And then of course, like there are stronger teams in this league, stuff like that with Purdue, Northwestern, and GVU, right?
Mhm.
Which are at the top of the table, and we're looking to like do what we can versus those. We're looking to, at the end of the day, have a good time.
So you just mentioned Purdue, Northwestern, and GVU, but neither of them actually hold the first place spot at the moment. It's Ohio Northern University. So is this some sort of
only faced GVU? They haven't faced Purdue or us. So
T.
So
yes.
So I guess that's you think you're better than Ohio Northern, which I'm not here to decree upon, but
we'll see. We'll see this weekend, I'm pretty sure.
All right. I got one more draft question from game one. Was there any world in which you actually expected Killian's Rumble to be up? Because
No.
I think we both Mac and I are sitting there going, "Oh, what's going to go on this draft? Oh, banning Rumble," and then it just was up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting choice. I don't know why more teams don't try to experiment with this, right? Because like realistically, the Rumble champion can be countered, but like Killian's very good at it. Is usually you should just ban it, don't have ego, right? But like especially in a 3-game series, you can always explore an option, right? Because it does get a little bit taxing on draft. You have to ban stuff like that. So I think
we'll see. Fun.
You should almost always win when it's open, though.
Yeah. I mean, at least this time we got to play it in the top lane, right? Didn't have to go support with it.
Wow. Yes. Forgot that was a thing.
I know, right? I forgot to. I was like, oh, after that we'll never see it again. And then here we are. He's playing in his regular role and still makes it look really good. So fun to watch for us here in the booth. Before we let you go, Fawn, do you want to give out any shout outs?
Shout out to all my friends out there. Shout out to my support Plux, who I live with. And shout out to my family. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the post-game interview, Fawn. Wishing you and the Ottawa squad a nice rest of the week. We'll be looking forward to seeing some of the marquee matchups in the coming weekend. So wishing you guys the absolute best. And that's going to do it for week number 3 here in the Midwest Esports Conference. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching us. We'll be continuing on the CLOL coverage as well as some other esports. I believe we've got Rocket League coming up in the middle of the week, as well as the Unified webinar coming your way February 21st. Do !webinar in the chat for more info on that to register. Really excited to see the discussion there. It's been a fun week. Mac, happy to cast with you, my guy. I know I think I'm going to be returning with Shibby is coming back, but Mac, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. That's going to do it for us here on the cast. Make sure to tune in for more Midwest Esports Conference action the rest of the week. We hope to see you there.
Wait for it, I'ma make it work this time. 'Cause I don't wanna wake up there, wake up there, wake up there. I don't wanna wake up there, wake up there, no. I don't wanna wake up there. I don't wanna turn up missing, but I can get you out of my head. Baby, I just need you to listen, 'cause I don't wanna wake up there. If I ain't got you, then I'm already gone. Baby, don't leave me alone, 'cause I don't wanna wake up there. I'ma take 23 shots of Patron. Gotta be coming back home, and I don't wanna wake up. Asphyxiation got me losing my breath. She's my grim reaper, I'm in love with death. It's only been 24 hours, I should probably go and give me some rest. But the way that time's been moving backwards, I've been hit by still rapping this boom the time. Babe, 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 babe. Yeah. What the fuck? Babe, what's up? Why you do me that way? my heartbeat in my head. You got me staying in this bed. Cause I don't wanna wake up dead, wake up dead, wake up dead. Cause I don't wanna wake